Jay McLean, baby.
Right, brother Patrick.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, my brother. Thank you for joining us. No long team, bro. Go in. Who are you? Where you come from? And what you do around here?
I don't know why you're complaining me. I've been sitting here all afternoon watching all of the great speakers.
Yes, sir.
Now you're limiting my time. And you know I've got so much to say with all the work that I did.
I apologize.
I will definitely cut. I just want to say a big up to all of the speakers that's been on, the young guys that are doing things. His name Lion and Jason, and earlier on Sister Enster and all the ladies that was on earlier on. I say big up and big congratulations. Okay, let me get to the point of what I'm doing. Now, as you know, you've been promoting our debates that we've been doing. I just want to touch onto that 1 minute, is that we've been running a series of debates primarily to look at the issues in we in the diaspora is returning back to the continent. And what we plan to do through the series of debates, which has been ongoing, as you know, is to produce a document that we can formulate into a constructive policy that we can present to the bodies in these different African countries to adopt, providing us a pathway that we can then say, this is how we need to return home to X country, this is the process, etc. And the series of debates is ongoing. We've had some great speakers, and if anyone wants to see the replays of what's gone on, just message me and I will send them a link to the replays. So I'm just going to touch on that, as you know. But where do I start? I really wanted to talk about our journey to what I'm doing. So I'm going to start at where we are now in terms of what we're doing on the continent in Uganda and how we got there. At this present time, what we have in place is a program where we match individuals in the diaspora, and that's in the diaspora worldwide, because we do have some people from the USA on board, and Canada as well. And what we do is we look at the local community, like farmers, industries, ICTs, and working with the Ugandan Investment Authority. What we do is to match the investment capital to an investor who is looking for that investment capital. Now, we facilitate the program. So through our site, Kiyiira Africa, it's a membership site because it's self-funding. Well, we try to be self-funding. And how we got to that point was we started off initially, as you know, my background is in business, entrepreneur, and property, because I'm a qualified trained surveyor. So after traveling the continent for like over 20 years, I landed on Uganda and saw there's opportunity here for a development that was being built there, a new town, to maybe create a diasporan community. And that was great, but it posed the challenge that individuals still need to have the capital to invest, even though it was a staged payment plan over 2 years, but they still needed the capital. And that wasn't going to work for everyone, especially the younger people that are struggling even to get on the ladder here. So we developed that into taking people out there to see the country, because we know there need to be some kind of a connection, unless they're an out and out, just, you know, investor that just would invest anywhere. People that are looking for more than that, they're looking to maybe join a community, which is what we was looking to do in this development. So we started the tours, and that was going fine. And then we recognize how can we get the younger groups or the younger people involved in this, because again, it was people that had money they could release in property, and that was obviously the middle age or the older age group. So then we started the investment matching program, which is ideal because it actually covers the things that we were looking to cover. It created a connection between the person in the diaspora and the family or a business back there in Uganda, so they can start to generate an income. So when the transition happened, they already had an income in place, because we didn't want individuals to be going over there and competing for jobs within the local job community, because there's enough people there looking for work. What we wanted to do was to create opportunities for people to develop a business and employ people, give them work. So that's what we have now ongoing in Kiyiira Africa. All of the information is on the Kiyiira Africa site. It will explain how we do it and what's involved and how we facilitate the whole program. We call it the airport to airport service. From someone lands, we have our offices in Kampala. We make sure that we bring in the investor, we match them, they negotiate the terms. And just to give you one example, someone spoke of tomato being exported to Italy earlier on in the show, probably earlier. That's how long I've been watching this. We have an opportunity where there is a farmer who was growing tomato, and he wants to add added value, turn it into tomato puree so he can sell it in the local market. Now, what a lot of people don't understand about Uganda is ideally placed, surrounded by South Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania, the DRC, and Rwanda. So there's a market there for expansion if someone develops a business there. So really ideally suited. And of course, you've got Lake, Lake Kawanza, but it's got another name now. So what we do is we look for through the investment authority, we have the investment sheets. It's well presented. The person that's going to invest knows exactly what the challenges are, where that business is in, and what needs to be invested, etc. And then they make the contact, and then we just make everything happen. That's going great. Obviously, we've been slowed down by COVID. I just managed to get out of Uganda literally the week before the lockdown, and I have been able to get back since. But we've been running the online debates, as you know, and that's going very well. We've got the next one coming up in July, and that's from we are co-hosting that with someone from the USA, and we're going to be talking about Cuba and Cuba's involvement in the African continent growth. So we're looking forward to that. And anyone wants information about the ongoing debates. Also, I'll quickly add in, and you've had a lot of speakers on that's got a lot to say. We're always looking for people to bring onto the panel so that they can give their say. The last debate, as you know, was about education, and we had a few people in education. That was a great debate. We had people from the USA, people from Liberia, Ghana, someone that's dual citizenship between, it's a great panel. It's a great panel, as you know. So that's where we are with what I'm doing, and just to give you some history, I didn't just land and come up one morning and say, this is what I'm going to do. It took like over 25 plus years of traveling the continent, being disappointed many times, starting businesses before, being disappointed again. And so I actually don't want to touch onto the negatives, but, one of the things is we've got a passion being here in the UK or in the diaspora from the US or Canada, wherever we are. We have a passion that we just want to go there and help. But what I've recognized is that there's a lack of education between what we have gone through here, and it's by design. Rather, it's not that people don't want to know. It's just that most of them are still being educated within the former colonial system, and they've only been told so much. Because I remember my first experience to the USA, I had the perception that the USA was a great place to be for a black person, because that's all we're fed over here. We never felt the negative, because I was traveling before social media, before YouTube. So I went over there with this perception, the USA is great, and ended up in jail. And that was for challenging a police officer who was treating someone very badly. And I just said, look, what you're doing there ain't right. And that's all I needed to say. I didn't realize that that's not what I was supposed to say. But you see, one of the things which I've identified that we really need to do well is to sell our own narrative across the world rather than having other people sell it. I know it's moving a bit off topic, but it's just some of these issues which have been identified, hence the reason why I've started the debates to produce the document, so forth. So that I'll end.
I've got a question, actually. So earlier we were talking, you were tuning in about, like, there's too much talk. I'm one that loves debate, but it has to be productive. So yes. What is it about your debates that does... Okay.
Well, let me go back then and explain. Let me go back and explain. It's not just a debate for what the debate will lead into a document that we will produce, an academic document that we will then present to the correct individuals in each country that will conclusively show the videos that we will, because how we produce the document is there'll be an academic part to it, but then there'll also be excerpts from the debate that will cover certain issues. So it'd be a working document.
Yes.
And what we'll present it to them and say, look, these are the challenges that we've identified that is hindering the growth and development from bringing in the resource, the brain power from outside of the country. But these are things that you need to have in place so that because I've had people say to me, yes, I'd love to go to X country, but until I have a concrete understanding that I'm going to be able to gain citizenship, I'm going to be able to work, and as you know, I mean, we've got Ghana with the year of return, but you still have challenges to go through there. And then you've got Liberia, who say they're open, but you still have challenges to go there. You've got the Gambia, you still have to jump through hoops. So there is no pathway that someone can say, okay, I want to go to Liberia. Let me have a look at, as a diaspora and as an African returning home, how do I get there? What do I need to do? This is the steps I need to take. So the document that we're going to be producing through the series of debates is going to identify those challenges and present it in a way and encourage them, the African countries, to have these procedures in place for the diaspora. But we're also going to talk about the economic advantages to them as well, because we know that the economic advantage is great, never mind the resource in terms of understanding brain power. And as I said, I travel the continent quite a lot. So I know that a lot of our people in so-called power have been educated in the system, and they still have, because they're kind of, I would say, insulated from what we have been going through in the diaspora, and they don't really understand the Mzungu the way we understand them in that respect. The things that they would bow down and take, we know that we would correct that straight away because we're coming from a different understanding. So anyway, so that's what the to answer your question, that does answer it. Yes, it's not pointless, and I state that in all of the debates we have, the opening speeches. Mohammed Gaddafi, said to the African Union that all black people, quote unquote, should have a place of solace in their homeland, period. And that's what I am, and I'm actually working with some people in the USA as well to put this together, but that's what we're working towards. And we've recognized that area and decided this is what we're going to home in on. And of course, coupled with what we're doing in terms of the investment matching to try and give people to develop an income stream on the continent, because it's just so much happening there, in terms of potential. And as well, we all know that. So I commend the young guy for doing what he's doing. The Lion, what was his name? Lion. For what he's doing in challenging the issues that we're having here. Because I'm not saying that we're going to jump up and run. I'm saying, no, you're in the belly of the beast. Use it to your advantage, but also start to put your roots down in your continent. Because if you don't, no one else will. And that's really where I'm coming from with what we're doing. Anyone wants to find out more information on myself or what we're doing, you can go to Kiyiira.com. So just drop the Africa and it's Kiyiira.com, or the KiyiiraAfrica.com is about our business in Uganda, and it's more about the investment part of it and how people can get involved. And once they remember, we send them out an investment proposal every single month based upon the criteria that they've told us in terms of if they've got 10 grand to invest, we'll send them every month a 10 grand investment. If they've got 100 grand, we'll send them a 100 grand investment potential. If they want to invest in ICT, agriculture, we will make sure, because we're working with the Ugandan Investment Authority, and we've got our offices in Kampala at Acacia Mall, and that's basically taking it to a level that we can. So, and you know all about that, Shakira, because we've been working with you doing all of the different stuff that putting it out there and so forth.
Yes,
so.
I do want to say, bro, thank you for coming through. And I want to make the point that what you're saying is a program that's happening right now, and it's very practical. And one of the comments in the chat earlier was that Sister Celine is the only person that has brought practical information. And that maybe that person, that piece of information on trading applies to that person or relates to that person more specifically. But what you just said, everything that you just said is no less practical. You can get involved in Kiyiira Africa right now and invest on the continent. You can get involved in the African Cooperative Union right now and invest in our economic development over here. You know what I'm saying? I do want to shout out Next Level Development. My brother Justin Mohammed and others who are doing work in Zambia. Another program that you can get involved in right now. Just Google Next Level Developments. And you'll find that. So brothers and sisters, like, you know, I want people to appreciate the value of the information. And because something is long-term in terms of its benefits, doesn't mean that it's not practical. Yeah, we have to get out of this immediate McDonald's 2-minute noodles, add water and stir kind of psychology, not a gospel in life. Yeah, and so I know it looks like that, but sometimes when we say people are not doing anything, no, they're working on things that the benefits we're not going to see all now. We might not see it till 10 years time. We might not even see it until the grandchildren are grown. But that's what it's going to take. Yeah. And what looks immediate is sexier. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very sexy. But what is longer term is more sustainable. And what our brother Pat is doing is about sustainable development. Yeah. And there's nothing more practical than sustainable development. So I want to make that point very, very clear. Because I don't want the value of what is being shared here to be underestimated or devalued in any way, shape, or form. Brother Patrick, thank you very much, bro. We appreciate you.
I'd just like to end by saying, you know, what we're doing, I certainly am very passionate about it. And as you said, everyone's out to have a mission. But on the Kiyiira Africa side, we have 3 ways people can get involved. They can either be a patron for little as, I think, $9 a month to support what we're doing because it's self-funding. They can actually gift that as a membership to someone, that a younger person, or they can join the investment clubs at different levels and so forth. So we try to tear it in a way that we're not excluding everyone, but I say, and I hope people appreciate this, we have to fund our own repatriation. We have to fund our own exit out of this country, and we have to find the best way to do it. So I commend everyone that's been on today for the different challenges and how they've tackled the different challenges and how they've approached it. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hope someone get involved.
And thank you for your patience, Brother Patrick. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah. This is Decipher, and these are our lovely panelists. African versus Caribbean versus British.
I'll say from African, but no, you're not.
Everyone's Africanness comes innately.
I went to Jamaica earlier this year, and I know I'm not Jamaican. They don't look at me as Jamaican.
Yeah.
I don't like people just wearing a dashiki and wearing stuff and just saying, yeah, I'm African now. That's very fake to me.
You protect people, want to claim Africa, like it's some superior, something. This being a semicircle, and you, the audience, completing the circle.